Let me tell you about the sheer audacity of this family and the recklessness that led to one of them losing both of his legs. Okay, let me start here. Now, the Quincy family have always been derelicts, thieves, and con artists. The kind of people who lie for no reason, then forget the lies they told you. The kind of people who try and turn mother against father, sister against brother, neighbor against neighbor, and all for money. Then, when they get their hands on the money that they did all that lying and conniving for, they could never hold on to it for no more than 30 days. Well, this all started when Edmund Quincy decided he was going to start hunting on Mr. Miles' property down there in those swamps. Now look, Mr. Miles' family has owned this swamp land for a hell of a long time. And for as long as I can remember, truthfully, Mr. Miles didn't care about you hunting on this land. The one thing you need to understand about Mr. Miles, his whole life revolves around showing him proper respect. Show him the respect he deserves, and everything is fine. Well, of course, them damn Quincy's take kindness for weakness, head on down to this man's land without permission and take some hogs and a few deer. They come back up to town to get the meat processed. Then they turn around and go out bragging about how much game they got off Mr. Miles' land. Well, that starts this series of events where all these people get to calling Mr. Miles, asking him for permission to hunt the land. That's how he learned that them Quincy's had been back there without asking him. Now stop right here and listen. To this day, I'm not sure what he did or how he did this. This is part truth and the other part is speculation. Now, here's the truth. Mr. Miles confronted Edmund in the bar. They had a fight and he wrestled him until he got his shirt off his back. This fight was confirmed. Everybody was talking about it because Edmund actually whooped Mr. Miles. But folks told me that Mr. Miles wasn't throwing no punches. He was just trying to wrestle that shirt off of his back. Once he got Edmund's shirt off, he hopped up, ran out of the bar room, jumped in his truck, and drove off. That is what I know to be true. Now here is where I start to speculate on my part. See, I think all he wanted was that shirt off his back. And as I've gotten older, I think Mr. Miles knew something about them swamp dogs that very, very few people know. Now anyway, back to the story. Now Mr. Miles goes on and gives open permission for 60 days to hunt his land to anyone who wanted to hunt it. The only condition was that they have the meat processed and bring some of that meat back to him and his family. So folks flock to his property because this place is rich with game. The first time I go there, we get deep back up into them swamps and man, they got signs where people been walking everywhere. I'm saying to myself, there is no way I'm about to kill anything. It's got to be 15, 20 people back up in here. Listen, you can even hear shots off in the distance. This land is full of hunters. So we head out, leave, decide to come back early on a Sunday morning. Sunday morning rolls around, 4 a.m. And there's Edmund, truck parked out there, and he's in the front seat sleeping. I tap on the window and say, Quincy, wake up now. We're going to take all the damn deer while you're sleeping. And I need to stop right here so you can understand the type of people the Quincy's was. This man wakes up from a dead sleep and starts talking trash. You couldn't kill germs with gasoline. I mean, from a dead sleep, he is a complete a-hole. Then he goes on and invites himself to join us. So we all head out into the swamps. Now pause before I go on in the story. Let me say this. There is no speculation about what happens next. I was there when it happened, saw it with my own 2 eyes, heard it with my own ears. I felt his blood with my own hands. We head into those swamps and as soon as we get in, we get on a track of some hogs. We stalk and have been moving about 10 minutes when the swamps go quiet. I'm talking about supernaturally quiet. No crickets, no nothing, not a sound. Then you see this eye shine low to the ground. But looking at those eyes, they was way too big to be any normal animal in the swamp. Immediately, I knew that that was one of them swamp dogs. Now, right after that, this feeling comes over me. Like I needed to get some yonder, get the hell up out of there. So I'm like, listen, guys, this is not a good morning to be hunting. We need to go. But Quincy, being a complete and total arrogant a-hole that he was, says, no, we're not going nowhere. We're going to get us some hogs today. This fool moves out ahead of us, taking the lead. Listen, I shine my light directly on those eyes and say, Quincy, look at that over there. We need to go. Now, listen, I'm not going to sit here and say that these swamp dogs can understand English. But what I can tell you is this: the words that came out of his mouth next, he paid the price for them. Because he looks over there and says, man, F them swamp dogs. I want me some hoe. Imagine the scene. Now we're walking along. I shine that light in the direction again and realize that this thing's eyes are tracking his every move. And right then and there is when it all happened. I'm talking about in a split second, those eyes were gone. Then in another second, Ed's body was tossed in the air like a freaking rag doll. He hits the tree, starts screaming. That's when I hear this growling and crunching, flesh tearing, bones breaking, literally hear blood squirting. And when I tell you that this happened fast, there was no time to think, no time to react. By the time I realized
Yes. If you want to hear the rest of the story, go to IamDogWaters.com and become a member today. And for those of you who are members, something is going on. I have been trying to get into DW's office for days now. He has been locked up recording. I do not know what is going on, but whatever it is big. If I were you, I would be checking the website daily.